There is only one man in this world that I fear. It is the Kingcel. That's right. The king of Incels. Derrick.
Hey, I'm Brendio. I also go by Derrick.
This is Derrick, a self-proclaimed incel. And for those of you who don't know what an incel is short for involuntary celibate. Individuals who can't get any We're going to be watching Derrick answer some intriguing questions as to what it means to be an incel.
I'm an incel, and I'm here to answer people's questions about the topic.
I can start. Hi, how are you?
My god, it's a female. What do I say?
Hi, I'm good.
So you're an incel?
Yes.
Now this guy is not an incel. He came to the studio. he came to the studio with a leather jacket. That's a cool guy.
Why would you ever sign up to do this?
I suppose I would want to give more of a positive light on this community, which is a very negative light upon it.
I'm saying this right now. I doubt he'll be able to.
Okay, and do you think that's a good thing?
Yes,
Why is that?
because a lot of the boys in this community aren't bad people.
No, good choice of words there, Derrick. Boys.
But you acknowledge that a good handful of them are, right?
Not a good handful, I would say a small handful.
He doesn't even answer the question, to be honest. He just dismisses it saying it's a small amount of people, so the answer to the question doesn't matter. There's not enough of them.
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you?
Or what happened? What event sort of catalyzed this way of thinking and you getting into this kind of research?
Ooh, ow. That's a deep question. I think that question can relate to almost everybody, even me.
Society?
Okay, chill out there, Mr. Edgy. We've all seen Joker. You ain't special. But for real, who hurt you? Who left you on red? Who didn't want to watch anime with you? Who said that you were a nice guy, but you were better off as friends? Who said that you were too good for them, but deep down inside you knew they just didn't like you back? I'm sorry, I just got a little carried away.
Do you hate women?
No,
No.
no.
Do you have a female role model in your life?
A female role model?
Yeah, like a mom or an aunt or a friend?
I mean, I love my mom.
But I love your mom more. Oh, Loki, I was thinking he was actually going to make that joke, but Derrick disappointed me on that one.
I wouldn't necessarily consider her a role model, but I do love her quite a bit.
If a woman was elected as president of the United States, how would you react?
Oof, Derrick, please be very careful with your choice of words.
I don't know. It probably would depend on the woman. I probably wouldn't be supportive of it, honestly, but
God damn it, he blew it. I mean, I wasn't expecting less, to be honest.
Why do you say that, if you don't mind me asking?
I do think that, men should be the leaders and women should be the caregivers and the loving, supporting, and the teachers in some cases.
Who hurt you?
Here's the thing. This is one of the most incel type things you could say. I don't think Derrick understands that ideologies like this are the reason why he is and will remain an incel. Categorizing all women to be caregivers is definitely not going to make you look desirable. And by the way, being a man myself, I don't want people like Derrick preaching about men being leaders. It makes a bad image for the rest of us.
Since women of color or just women in general have been oppressed by certain systems and other oppressed communities, especially LGBTQ+, all those don't really fit with the spectrum that incels or you have been talking about. So why do you think your method of thought would help fix what we have today?
Now, she's assuming that Derrick cares about topics like female rights, female oppression, and gender equality. I think she's giving Derrick too much credit with those questions. Derrick is an incel. I don't think he cares about those problems. How can he think about those problems when he can't even look at women equally?
I probably wouldn't view the things you might view as oppression as oppression.
My point exactly.
I have a feeling.
Honestly, I applaud her for being able to just laugh off what he says.
I would view it more as how we treat children that we love. We control them, but we control them lovingly.
What did he say?
Not as a slave, not as we're forcing them to do things against their will.
Honestly, her facial reactions are priceless. They say everything without having to say anything.
I would view it more as a loving domestic thing in the past. And I would say that if we were to do it in a civilized way, maybe in a more, even a Christian way, even though I'm not really advocating for a certain religion or ideology, I would assume that women would probably be happier. And I wouldn't just assume that blindly, I would assume that based on the data that I have seen.
I'll go ahead and say we all need a Derrick in our lives, not just women. We all need a Derrick to show us our place in society. Derrick knows best. Leave it to the incel to tell you what to do and what makes you happy. Perfect.
What data have you seen that has brought you to this conclusion? Because I'm now curious where I can get this data from.
You know what? Me too, Derrick. I'm super curious. Where did you get this? You better not say Reddit.
I couldn't reference it offhand, but I believe there was a study that I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Okay.
Gotcha, bitch.
What do you think it is about liberal areas that create behavior in women that you think is a problem?
Promiscuity leads to increased standards in more primitive aspects such as looks.
That's pretty high, coming from someone whose standard of beauty is probably based off of his favorite anime waifu plastered on his walls.
And that typically makes it harder for some people to find a relationship, including sometimes good-looking people. Like, there's guys who are much better looking than I am.
Whoa, that's where we draw the line there, Derrick. Everything you have said before was tolerable, but that, you're just straight lying.
Who are having a really hard time finding someone in a place like LA or in London or in Auckland, New Zealand.
And so much for anonymity. Derrick just calling out the locations of all his friends. Those aren't random places. He knows who lives there.
But they probably would have a perfectly fine time finding a woman somewhere else.
Let me help you out here, Derrick. I suggest you look for girls in Whiterun. Lots of potential companions there. Oh, I do suggest you be wary of Riften. Chicks there they belong to the streets. And women in Winterhold, they're just too high maintenance for my liking.
So you think that promiscuity is the problem, and if people were more monogamous and more withholding, that would sort of fix society?
Yeah, I suppose people were more traditionalist.
Yeah, like I said, my office still stands, Derrick. Come to Tamriel, traditionalist woman. We got them all there.
There have been a few mass shootings in the past where these shooters actually stated that they were incels or were radicalized.
Oh Lord, that question is deep. Look at Derrick. That boy's sweating buckets over here.
By online incels. What do you think about their actions?
I condemn their actions. I don't believe I don't believe violence is the solution. I don't believe attacking random people is going to fix anything, whether they're, women or men. I do think that the reason why they committed those actions was probably because of out of desperation or out of, mental problems that probably could have been prevented had the right support was in their community.
Which community, Derrick? The incel community? Because, that didn't really work out.
In their household, if people, saw what they were posting and saw what they were experiencing in life and did something to help them.
Was there like a pivotal moment in your life, like a straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back?
I think this question has been asked before. Let me summarize it.
Who hurt you?
It's constant years of rejection, no matter who the person was. Constant years of rejection in other aspects of my life. It did kind of push me towards more, I suppose, radical beliefs. Years of rejection. But I suppose they're only like radical, but they're more just old beliefs, really. Years of rejection.
No, it sounds like I had another metaphor, like death by 1,000 cuts. It's not like one pivotal moment, but it sounds like a bunch of things built up over time.
Yeah.
That face that he made was a face of regret. he regrets asking that question. Yeah, enough.
One of the common criticisms about the incel community is that you feel entitled to sex or intimacy. Do you believe that you deserve sex or intimacy from a woman?
I think everybody at some level deserves someone that loves them and, you know, respects them, as long as you are also loving and respectful towards that person. You know, they're an equal. You know, you're not like seeking someone beyond yourself. You know, you don't have like too high standards, I suppose. You know.
Oh my god, he just mean mugged Derrick, and to be honest, Derrick's answer wasn't even that bad. I don't know if me and this dude were hearing the same thing, but it just didn't seem that bad. It seemed like a reasonable answer. He wasn't demanding anything. He wanted something that was respectably reciprocated. But if looks could kill, man.
If you can tell the world about something about being incel that, you know, that may not be in the internet or that's overlooked heavily, what would it be?
I don't know. I think it's mostly that most of the men are not inherently bad people. A lot of them are just lonely. They just need some help, really.
Okay.
Someone give this guy a hug. Oh my god, I feel sorry for him.
Would you say that there's anything that other people can do to help guide or just support or anything?
You know, the lonely person in your class or the lonely person in your workplace, maybe he's an incel and he's not letting you know, and he's just kind of afraid to, you want someone positive, just be nice, say hi, try and make friends with him. You don't have to date him, you don't have to whatever, just, you know, brighten up someone lonely's day.
I like that advice. I mean, it's not going to stop you from being an incel, but it's good advice in general. But what I think Derrick is really trying to say is...
Excuse me. Can I please bite a chunk out of that ass?